Thank you. Your Excellency, Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Paris, fellow foreign ministers, Mr. Secretary General, dear friends. Let me begin by conveying my sincere appreciation to Foreign Minister G.L. Paris and his colleagues for Sri Lanka's chairmanship of BIMSTEC in these difficult times. I would like to thank him for the excellent arrangements made for this meeting and for his very, very warm hospitality. Dear colleagues, I bring to you all the greetings and good wishes of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And like all of you, we too look forward to a successful and productive summit tomorrow. Excellencies, the international system is going through a very challenging phase, perhaps one of the most difficult in recent memory. The challenges of COVID-19 pandemic have not yet fully abated, but recent developments in Ukraine have added to international disquiet. We have all underscored that the maintenance of international peace and stability, and even peace and security, and even stability can no longer be taken for granted. We must recognize that we face headwinds both from the global economy and in some cases from within our domestic economies. Under these circumstances, as we shore up our domestic capacities, we also need to broaden and deepen cooperation under BIMSTEC. We need more working together in many more areas. We need more effective and fast-paced cooperation. We need to intensify and build on what we have achieved in the last 25 years. Tomorrow, our leaders will adopt the BIMSTEC Charter. This is a landmark achievement in our effort to develop the institutional structure for BIMSTEC. But we must not rest on this achievement and instead move on to next steps that can be taken to further strengthen BIMSTEC. I am confident that we will identify priority institution building tasks and areas of cooperation and task our senior officials to work with the Secretary General for their realization. Excellencies, we must accelerate our efforts to boost intra-BIMSTEC trade and economic ties, the development of a network of regional supply and value chains will reduce our vulnerability to external shocks and give our economies greater resilience and transparency. This requires us to accelerate cooperation that has been under discussion for so long. Simultaneously, we must also work on a more ambitious trade facilitation agenda. Tomorrow, our leaders will also adopt the BIMSTEC Master Plan for Transport Connectivity. This detailed document provides a framework which can help us better align our national transportation and connectivity networks. It must be fully backed by energetic business collaboration. We must also accelerate efforts on ongoing initiatives such as the establishment of a coastal shipping ecosystem, of port facilities, of ferry services in the Bay of Bengal, as also power grid interconnectivity and a regional motor vehicles agreement. Excellencies, we live in one of the most disaster-prone regions of the world. Activities that enhance our disaster management capacities merit our special attention. In this connection, we are taking steps to strengthen the functioning of the BIMSTEC Center for Weather and Climate that is located in India, which has been serving this region. We urge all BIMSTEC partners to consider joining the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Much of what we can achieve in our national development efforts is of course predicated on a peaceful, secure and stable environment. We cannot ignore the challenges that terrorism and violent extremism, as also transnational crime, and narco trafficking, or indeed new challenges such as cyber attacks pose to all of us. All these affect our economic development efforts. We need to put in place the remaining elements of the legal architecture that will enable our law enforcement agencies to collaborate more closely and more effectively. The Bay of Bengal achieving SDG 14 targets and ensuring a good order at sea is in keeping with international maritime law, particularly UNCLOS, is a priority. A practical way is to proceed is to have discussions using existing dialogue mechanisms even while we put in place a plan of action in the maritime domain which is consistent with our national priorities. The science of oceans is not easy. To get matters moving, India is keen to develop platforms and initiatives that can enhance collaboration between our scientists and experts in the maritime domain. Colleagues, I take this opportunity to welcome His Excellency Don Pramod Vinay, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Thailand, as the incoming chair of our ministerial. India looks forward to working with you, sir, and your country during the course of your chairmanship to take the BIMSTEC agenda forward. And we do so recognizing that BIMSTEC will now get a charter and an institutional framework that has been strengthened in its 25 years of existence. Its areas of cooperation have been rationalized. We will utilize these developments to further build the organization to meet the aspirations of our peoples and their desire for a better life. In conclusion, may I underline that with respect to BIMSTEC, India will bring to bear all relevant policies and approaches. One, as neighborhood first, give it the utmost priority. Two, in consonance with our Sagar outlook, realize its full maritime potential. And three, as a first responder, be it on HADR situations, COVID, or economic recovery, be there at critical times for all of us. Thank you for your attention.